guys, I wanted to do a quick video today on my mule deer trip to North Dakota and the prep that I'm taking for that. Give you an idea of the gear if you're planning your own trip, hopefully fill in some of the gaps for you. So starting with, I guess, the pack, I have a Badlands pack. I got this pack back in 2009 or 2008, I believe, for a trip. I wouldn't say I've given it rigorous use by any means, but some trips, you know, when I was in the military, some backpacking, a little bit of hunting, things like that. But it has held up incredibly well. The zippers, which usually tend to be a problem over time, have been, super nice, super good and sturdy zippers that I believe are even waterproof or heavily water resistant. Because this thing has been a tank. Nothing is ripped or broken on it. It has basically a shelf on the bottom. It has nets to come out to put other gear in if you're packing on an animal. It has an orange flag. The top piece turns into a fanny pack. A lot of companies now making packs, but I believe they even have a lifetime warranty if anything is wrong. So I would definitely recommend Badlands packs to everyone, and we'll be using this for the upcoming trip. Footwear, going to be one, taking some Crocs and just strapping these to the backpack for camp wear, maybe hopping in a river, things like that. They are the kind of outdoor, more rugged model. It seemed like they were around the same weight. So happy to have those to get the boots off, let the socks dry, things like that. Also, these Merrell boots, I believe Moab was the model, but these Merrell boots, super comfy. I'll tell you, I tried at least 4 or 5 different brand boots on at the store. Kind of just had my eye and my mindset on one of the more, known hiking boots. Not that Merrell isn't, but your Solomons, your things like that. Just because of the strength and their ability to carry a load, people talk about. But those were the last ones I tried on. They were the cheapest and they were the most comfortable. So definitely going to give those a try. My wife has a pair. She's the one that actually convinced me to get those. She'll wear them walking the dogs. So very happy with those. They didn't even really have a break-in period, no blisters. I'm not going to have a problem whatsoever. When it came down to clothes, gathered some hiking socks off of Amazon. They're like a Danish hiking sock, but they have a little bit of pad in there. Kind of just a mid to light sock, which should be fine. The temperature that we're going to have there is everything from a high of 87 right now to a low of 37 or 38. So it is just a ridiculous, span when it comes to the weather, just for a 5-day or so trip. So definitely going to have a layering system. Probably going to have to use some of these more than once, but I have 3 or 4 different pairs of pants. This is most of my whitetail gear from Sitka. As well as just a pant from like an REI or LL Bean, if you will. That's mostly water resistant or waterproof. When it does get colder, I have the Fanatic hoodie, which I know we've talked about, and I'm also bringing my rain gear, kind of as just my outer shell one for any rain. I see a couple days of at least 1 day of wind or heavy wind and things like that, and also just for layering when it gets cold. Shirt wise, just really a kind of a sporadic line of different stuff, everything from the lightweight merino to a regular crew to even a heavyweight merino for the colder mornings, and I'll probably just interchange those when I can. Bringing just a regular Sitka cap beanie and the Fanatic gloves. Hopefully nothing too cold will bother me, but for hiking and out there, and I'm trying to use the camera and stuff like that, I don't think anything should be too cold. And I have the hood also on the Fanatic hoodie as well. So then really some miscellaneous stuff when it comes to first aid, some moleskin. I will be using the Jet Boil system for cooking, and the utensils. I really just hadn't bought utensils in many years, so I thought even just for sanitary purposes, probably get some new ones. They were pretty cheap. Some spare batteries, a little multi-tool and hacky sack, which I haven't done in forever, but figured it would be interesting if we were bored. On top of that, a little bag for dirty stuff. I used to use an MSR stove, and it was just kind of one of those where it was not only finicky, but it was hard to set up every time. Maybe not hard, but if you haven't done it in a while, you forget, and you don't want to worry about those things when you're out there and you're starving and it's time to eat and you can't get a stove lit. So with this, I'll kind of go into the food and what I have, but it's going to be nice because it's a super quick boil time. Be able to put in some instant coffee or water just to mix with dehydrated meals and things like that. And you know, if you get up just a little bit earlier in the morning for that, you don't need to waste too much time being up half hour, 45 minutes before it's time to go. Food wise, I like to break things down into individual bags, really 1 through 5 for the 5 days, and then I kind of have a miscellaneous bag I labeled snacks. But I've broken these down into really one dehydrated meal and then a bunch of other smaller miscellaneous things. And I'm going to show you here exactly, actually, how I broke things down. You know, that might not be able to focus there. I'll try and zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it better. But basically I broke everything down here and the caloric intake so you can tell. But it's everything from instant coffee. Well, I'll bring out one bag here and I'll kind of give you a quick rundown. Instant coffee, which has no calories. A couple of the dehydrated meal. These Honey Stinger waffles. 2 of those right there is 300 calories, a bunch of carbs. A couple of tuna packets, about 70 calories each. Different, definitely experimented with some different bars. I decided to go with these Pro Meal bars. Okay, Pro Meal, this is 390 calories, peanut butter chocolate chip, and then a coconut one. They taste good, which is tough for me. I really got sick of the Cliff bars and things like that where, the 24mm camera can't fit everything in very well, our lens, excuse me. You know, I'm just getting sick of some of those other Cliff bars and same thing over and over again. So these are a great change. They taste great. I broke up a little bit of jerky, like 2 ounces or so of jerky for each day, and 2 scoops of protein powder, and then also a couple of different things from Mountain Ops. Just a little bit of energy or electrolytes. I'm taking the Ignite with me, and some electrolytes which require no water. And I'll simply throw that into a little Nalgene and mix it and drink that maybe in a couple in the morning or so, just to make sure I'm staying hydrated and getting some of the other vitamins that my body will be depleting as we're hiking. So all of that pretty much comes out to 2,320 calories. And then I put down there, we'll probably get some eggs on the way in the morning. Things like that, maybe some candy, some trail mix. So that'll make up another 200 to 400 probably in calories per day. When I used to count calories and macros, I'd be around, I think, 25 or 2,600, and that would put me in a slight deficit, which is fine for this trip. Probably not going to be gaining weight when I get back. So I think that's more than adequate, and at least I have a good idea. I shouldn't be going hungry every day with all of this. Now, going back to the water, I am carrying this Nalgene. I am also taking this reservoir. It's a 3-liter reservoir to go into the pack while we're hiking. This is by Gregory. Most of my other stuff is Platypus. However, the reviews weren't too great on that, and the reviews on this Gregory one were phenomenal. And I've only tested it once or twice, but I've had no issues. It has a handle, it has a hook that flips up that allows you to hang and dry it. Doesn't make much noise if you're going to be hunting, and you know, the mouthpiece works very well. It also has a little magnet if you want to attach it to your backpack, so you can have this right near your head when you're walking around. Now, for cleaning water, I did go with the Platypus. The Gravity Works, I believe it's called. You hang 2 bags, one with dirty water, and it filters into the clean water. It's fairly quick, and this new one, I believe, is, I want to say 6 liters, which is really neat. So for cooking and having stuff either by the camp and also you know, taking some to hike, it should be more than enough you know, every day or as needed for the water and clean water. And then I'll probably bring a couple drops of iodine or something, sweet water I believe it might be called, just to kind of be that extra touch for taste and cleanliness. So couple other things, Black Diamond headlamp. This one is battery and it's essentially battery and USB. So you have both backups, and you can also slip some batteries in there if the charge on the USB battery doesn't hold for all of the days. I've used this for I believe 2 years now, and it's been a tank. It's great. A little microfiber towel, toiletries and stuff I don't have here, but are pretty obvious. I'm going to be carrying on my pack my camera with one of Peak Design's little straps. It goes onto the strap of the backpack and allows you to just attach the camera so you have it, which I'll go into a second. Vortex binoculars, just my regular whitetail with a nice harness to go over my chest. I believe these are 8x42, the Viper HDs. Other camping gear, I have a Nemo sleeping bag. I believe it's the Disco. You can check out their website. I've been really liking Nemo's stuff. They often will have last year's stuff as well that might have a sale, which is what I did for the sleeping bag. The Disco is one of those that has the kind of stretchy vents near the leg, so if you do roll or sleep on your side or anything like that, it's a little more comfortable than a regular mummy bag. So I need that. I gotta sleep comfortable and be ready to go for the next day. Also a Nemo Tensor ultralight pad. I believe it inflates to 3 inches, which is great. I was getting tired of, turning, which I do turn a lot until I fall asleep, and, feeling the ground all the time and hitting that, and I don't think it's going to be an issue with that at all. It's kind of the in-between, as far as it is insulated, but it's not rated for like super winter camping. And the bag is a 15 degree, I believe, so same thing, should get the job done regardless. And then a little Big Agnes pillow I shoved in there. I just sleep better with my head elevated a little bit. Have a little waterproof bag and also a compression sack I got from Cabela's. I'm going to stuff all the clothes in and get everything nice and tight to fit into the pack. Now I know I said this in a previous video, I don't have the tag. I got the wrong tag, unfortunately, so it ruined my hunting. However, Terrell's got his tag, of course, out there in North Dakota, so I'm going to be focused primarily just on filming and bringing that content to you guys. So really excited about that, checking out the Badlands for the first time. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Camera-wise though, bringing my EOS R, which I'm recording on right now, good video capability, my Rode Video Mic Pro, the microphone. Essentially a small light to put on the camera, especially if you're taking an animal or packing out at night, want to get some footage. A drone, which is going to be great for the landscape. I'm using a 24-70 Canon 2.8L lens right now. Which is great for your landscape shots, being closer, being able to get really just an average of every shot, everything from portraits to landscape, things like that. Also, the new RF 70-200 2.8L for the EOS R. It's my first RF lens. Playing with it so far, it's been phenomenal. I used to have the Sigma 60-600. But I did end up trading that in, mainly because of weight. This weighs, I think, just over 2 pounds, and that Sigma lens, just the lens alone was, I believe, over 6 pounds, and also had, quite a bit of zoom. Even though this has some zoom, I don't want to be spooking animals with a big zoom. I was hoping that I'd be able to get the adapter, the 2x or 1.4 times teleconverter to extend the range of the 70-200. However, I later found out that does not work, the new ones for the RF lenses for the 70-200, to make that 140-400, which I was really planning on. Hopefully they come out with an update or a fix for that, so people can utilize that without purchasing 2 different lenses. I think that pretty much covers the bulk of what I will be taking. So we'll see how everything goes. This is my first time, of course, utilizing the Sitka gear out west. I'm hoping the whitetail line will hold up just fine, which I'm sure it will, as long as I'm not just absolutely crawling. Well, I could definitely be crawling, so we'll see how it holds up. Yeah, next couple episodes we'll be bringing you is going to be the actual hunt. So this is what I'm taking. If you guys have any questions, leave any comments below, and we'll see you next time.